tedious story.
Scott, tell us what's in The Guardian.
There's an alarm as ministers are targeting housing standards to cut asylum hotels bills. What's her name wants to get, Suella, wants to get people out of hotels and into private accommodation to give hotels a break. But what she also wants to do is make it possible for landlords to not have a license to rent, which means if they don't go through the licensing process, then they don't have to have a certain amount of standards. So they can squeeze as many people into a room as they like.
Yeah.
They don't need to provide, say, electricity or hot and cold water. They also don't need to provide anything.
Fire alarms?
Well, there's that. But any sort of independent security for different families. So they can squeeze 3 families, 2.5 families into accommodation.
People it sounds like it's going to save me some money.
They don't think it will. A lot of protesters and some conservatives think this is actually going to cost money, because what it's going to do is it's going to leave people bereft of proper housing, and they're going to start doing things like trying to raise money they can from. They're going to start begging on the streets, and they start.
And I guess people
going on trains, trying to get change for people, and that's going to cause all sorts of problems.
And people could get ill because the conditions aren't sanitary.
There's that. I hate saying the word begging, but yeah.
We've seen outbreaks of diphtheria amongst illegal immigrants. So yeah.
Yeah, this is clear. A government spokesperson said, by temporarily removing this licensing requirement, we'll be able to acquire more suitable long-term accommodation while continuing to meet our legal duty of care. So essentially, by getting rid of all the rules, then we're not breaking the rules.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Genius.
It's a good system. Why didn't the government think of this before?
Braverman wants to put people, asylum seekers, on redundant cruise ships, barges, and ferries, while Rishi Sunak is using a meeting of the Council of Europe in Finland right now to ask the European Court of Human Rights to block asylum seekers' deportations.
Yeah, but I think something had to be done to make Britain less of a sort of beacon to illegal immigrants, because, I mean...
putting you on the TV every night is a big help.
Well, me? What about you? What about you with your bald bonds?
Come here.
When was that suit made? Oh,
they're just immigrants.
Died in that suit.
They're just...
you can buy suits new, Josh.
No, they're just immigrants. But there's no point putting the word illegal in front of them, because then you fall into the trap that they're trying to create right now, and you're smarter than that. But what actually Rishi Sunak is trying to do is get the UK out of the ECHR, and by doing so, that's going to eliminate all sorts of rights for people. He's actually saying, unless you let us deal with immigrants the way we want, we're out.
But we need to deal with it, is what I'm saying.
Instead of calling them illegal immigrants, though, just call them immigrants. They're just immigrants, Leo.
Illegally, then they're illegal.
There is no legal process for them to follow, else they would follow it.
There are legal processes.
There are none. The UK has not set up anything.
If there are no legal processes for people to follow, how do people get here?
Illegally.
But that is not true.
That's the point you're making. It is true.
And also, one of my friends was here as an illegal immigrant, and he came back in, and we've got quite a porous...
Well, then he was just an immigrant to begin with, and he was when he came back in, too.
No, I mean, I think if you've got to have rules to follow, because everybody that comes across the channel, they're risking their lives, they're making it, they're jumping in front of
and the British government needs to provide routes for these people to take that are easily accessible and affordable for them.
But wouldn't it be better if people sought refuge in countries that are perhaps closer to the country that they're from?
There's nothing constitutionally that says they have to.
There's assimilable.
Well, currently there's no law that says they must. They can go to whatever country they like. They don't have to stop in the first country they're in.
27 safe countries.
Yes, they can. Yes, they certainly can.
One of the things that the criminal gangs that are bringing people across the channel, one of the things that they were doing is advertising on TikTok using footage of the hotels, saying, look at this 4-star hotel. The British government is going to put you up in this, and the British taxpayers are such mugs, they don't even mind.
But that is obviously not a solution as well. There are better solutions, I'm sure, out there. Just the British government is providing them right now.
Yeah. Well, they need to do something, and it's nice to see the government at least trying to do something, even though this sounds...
So they get a 4-star, and I get juries in Brighton? Is that what you're saying? This is so messed up.
This has been really nice to not be involved in this.
Coward.